I do it right. Did you hear it? It said recording in progress. Awesome. So do you want to go first? Do you want to ask me questions? You guys can ask me questions, or do you want me to ask you questions? There are no rules. Okay, ask me questions. Ask me anything.
Hi, James.
Hi.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm James. And I live in Ukraine. And I'm an American.
Or how long have you been living in Ukraine?
I came here in October 2019, and I've been here ever since. Yeah.
And why Ukrainian, James?
Why Ukraine?
Why Ukraine?
It's great here. Have you guys ever been to Ukraine?
Yes, many times.
It's fantastic here. Isn't it great? Don't you just love it every time you come? When you get off the plane, do you kiss Salo as soon as you get off the plane?
I don't know about Sala, but we always get a nice glass of vodka in front of us.
Fair enough.
Horilka, not vodka. Horilka.
Yeah, or it can be a samogon as well. It's like a tradition.
To do what? To get what?
And you know that is samogon. People in the land, they drink samogon.
They drink what?
Samogon, you know it?
No, what is this thing? Summer bun?
Samogon. It's like moonshine. Ne?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh. At my wife's high school reunion, someone brought 5 liters of summer gone. Is that how you say it? Summer gone?
Yeah, it's correct.
5 liters of summer gone between like 10 people.
But James,
Madness.
you are not about Samagon in Ukraine, or?
No, I do not. I don't drink vodka. I do miss German beer. Now you guys are in Frankfurt, and
yeah, but you have a lot of German beer in Ukraine. You can go to Silpo and buy German beer.
That's true. But then of course here in Ukraine, we also have the boobs. You know what I'm talking about? They sell them in like 2 liters of beer, in like the size of an American soda bottle, actually like an extra large soda bottle. Everyone calls them boobs here. I think it's hilarious. Anyway, the beer in Germany is better. Even the German beer here is not as good as the beer I had when I was in Germany. So you have another question for me, I guess. Yeah,
in which city did you live in Ukraine?
In Ukraine, I until the war, I lived in Kyiv. Right now, I'm in the center of Ukraine in Cherkasy district. The city's named Horodisha, which it's like the most common. I think it's the most common city name in Eastern Europe, actually. Horodisha or Gordadisha, something like that. Yeah. So.
I was born in Kiev.
Oh yeah.
Just you to know this fact.
Nice. But Polina, you were born in Frankfurt, yes?
Yes.
In Germany.
Yes. But for the last 4 years, I've been visiting Kiev every year or 2 times a year.
Well, let me ask you then, why? Why Ukraine? Why do you go and visit Kiev?
Why Ukrainian guy, do you have to ask?
I get you. All right, I see.
Yeah. It's a basic love story. Russian girl meets Ukrainian guy. They fall in love.
Nice.
Get to Kiev, marry there.
Yeah, I got married the Saturday before the war. Yeah, so we've been together for a while, but I was like, well, we need to do this now before the the fit hits the shan, as they say. So I'm curious about you guys in the context of all this craziness going on. Where were you when the war started? Where were you on day one?
We were at home. There's a time difference between Ukraine and Germany of 1 hour. And I think the war, the bomb shelling started in Kiev at 5 a.m. Ukrainian time.
Mm-hmm.
And we got a call at 4 a.m. our time. We woke up and we were just like, what the fuck is happening? Why is mother calling at 4 o'clock?
Oh, your mom called. So Luba, you called them, huh?
No. I'm not an Ukrainian. It was Pavlo's mom.
Oh,
I'm
Pavel.
Ukrainian,
Oh,
and my parents are living in Ukraine now.
right.
I have father and mother there.
Right. What part? They're in Kiev.
Yeah, in Obolon.
Oh, in Obolon. Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I lived in Obolon. My second apartment in Kiev was in Obolon, so I know it well. In fact, you know that scene, the famous scene where the tank is driving down the street and it runs over a car. Did you see that? The first day that was like 1 block from my apartment, my commie block apartment, as we say, you know. Anyway, so they called you, and what was your reaction? What did you do?
Well, Pavlo's mom told us she loves us and that the war started. I guess we were in shock, and Pavlo's parents too. We were just preparing for the worst. And then there just was like a whole day of anxiety, checking the news, not being able to sleep pretty well, and I think
Yeah, and first 2 weeks it was like a bad dream, you know.
I know.
Shock, yeah.
We couldn't understand why it's happening now to us. We couldn't understand how they can do this to Ukrainians, because Russians and Ukrainians are pretty, yeah, you know. For me, there was the same people.
Yeah. And that's curious to me. So like Polina, you know, maybe you consider yourself more Russian, and has that put any strain on, I know this is a personal question, but has this put any strain on your relationship or your family relationships, this sort of Russian-Ukrainian family fight?
no, never. I'm lucky to have a family who understands that Putin and also Russian soldiers have nothing to do with me, and like I do not choose where I come from, and Russia is still a beautiful country, even though there are many people who are gone too bad. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have family, had family who were German, you know, in Nazi Germany, like actually Nazis, not ancestors, but like cousins. And I mean, I can't do anything about that either, you know. So, but I will say, for me, you know, my wife's family, half of them are in Russia, and even though they are Ukrainian, I mean legally Ukrainian, they still believe, or some of them still believe, the propaganda, and it's tragic. It's just tragic to see these families just broken apart by this stuff, you know. It's really,
we had the discussion too with my parents. They are in Russian, but we decided to stop to speak about politics.
Yeah, so are you back speaking with your father now?
I speak with my parents, but not about politics. With my wife's sister,
it's slowly an evolving, ongoing discussion where she's slowly starting to learn the truth and starting to accept the truth piece by piece by piece. But it's a hard fight every time, you know. And my wife's family is very close, and so it's been especially hard, really. Terrible. So well, gosh, so what have you done since the war started? You know, we all had this bad dream take effect. Have you felt the need to, you know, do anything, take any sort of action to help Ukraine, or have you just kind of felt helpless? What's been your feeling since then?
No, actually not at all. The first day we were totally in denial, but we've had some Ukrainian friends, and we went to a demonstration in the evening.
Cool. Yeah.
And we met a couple of new people, and also my Ukrainian teacher. She introduced me to a couple of other people who have influence in the scene, and we learned about the Ukrainian community in our city.
About many Ukrainian communities here. It was the first community was Christian community of Ukraine in Gießen. The next was just Ukrainian community Gießen, and we met these people and tried to do something. For example, humanitarian help, medicaments, stuff you need for your child in Ukraine.
On the second day of the war, Pavlo was staying at home and I went to work, and I was still in denial the first half of the day, and then I just broke down. It was like I had to interview my co-workers about some software at work, and then I went to my boss and I just broke down. It was waterfalls, and she asked me if my husband was going to war in Ukraine, and I was like, no, he's staying in Germany, but it's still too hard. And she was a big support. She told us that we can stay off work for 2 weeks if we want, and also for 4 weeks if we want, and offered help.
That's Germany for you. Wow. What a great country.
And she had a big connection to doctors in our region, that we could write to doctors, and they brought different stuff in our company, and we could send this stuff to Ukraine as well.
Oh, wow, that's super cool.
She was our first big investor connector to other humanitarian aid investors and organizations.
So so you've moved on now, and how are you doing this humanitarian stuff?
We have one big sponsor. He's pretty well known in his region, and people and companies donate to this company, and then he orders
supplies, medical supplies. Yes.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe you can show a couple of tourniquets that we have.
Wow.
And he just orders on our requests, and we get the requests from hospitals in Ukraine, for example, in Ivano-Frankivsk, in Lviv, in Mukachevo, and they tell us, okay, we need stuff like these tourniquets.
Wow, that is super cool.
And then the Ukrainian community sends them over to those hospitals.
That is
we also
awesome.
ordered, for example, first aid kits for our friends in Ukraine, because I attended Ukrainian school, and I have friends that are in war now.
Yeah.
And they messaged us and said, we need first aid kit. Can you organize it for us? Because when the war started,
so awesome.
they were not prepared to this and needed supply.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think a lot of people in Germany get support and help, and it's true. They was ready to help.
I think as we go along, you know, a real problem, I don't know about Germany, but a real problem in America is people get tired of it very quickly. So, you know, some kind of new news comes along, you know, there's some celebrity does something, or there's a school shooting or whatever, and everybody just forgets about this massive Ukraine war that's happening. And so one thing that I've noticed coming from America is that the kind of the donations and support has kind of dropped off, because people are like, oh, well, the government is giving them $40 billion, so they don't need anything now. Are you finding that in Germany as well, or are people continuing to help?
You know, that's there's a big problem, because it's people's psychology.
Yeah.
We can concentrate us for 3 months for some kind of war, and after that we forget about it.
Yeah.
And you can see it on a example, Syrian war, Lebanon.
Yep. And to be honest with you, I think Putin is counting on that. I think he believes that that's exactly what the West will do, is that they'll just forget about Ukraine after a while, and all of this will kind of just go away. So I hope you guys, that's why I'm so glad you guys agreed to come on and do this little interview, is because we just want to keep that awareness level up and make sure that people are understanding, you know, for my audience that's in America and in the EU, that there's still a need. This is going to be a long fight and a long war, and we're helping them as much as they're helping us, because here in Ukraine, you know, it's our fighters who are defending democracy and defending Europe ultimately, you know.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we can stop now. I really thank you for coming on, Polina. If you want, I'll edit this video, because, you know, I've got lots of stupid things that I said, and I'll edit those out to make me look smart. But no, really, if you want, if you have like a website or a Facebook, Instagram link for the work that you're doing, so that my audience members can help and donate to your cause, please send that to me, and I'll make sure it gets added to the information when we release this video.
The Instagram link and the website link to our sponsors' website.
Great, fantastic. That's fantastic. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I will pause it there.